Russian bounties are real. Stormy Daniels is credible. Kavanaugh was a drunk rapist in high school. Wildfires are because of climate change. General Flynn is a traitor. Omar didn't marry her brother. Anita Hill's story was true. The media are tough on Biden. Hurricanes are stronger now. We got more. Time now for the Chump Line.
In a tribute to Chicago, Illinois is changing its state bird to the duck.
Yeah, it pays to duck, that's for sure, in Chicago. Lori Lightfoot, or also known as Lori Lightweight, the mayor of Chicago.
Howie, Joe Biden calling. Ugh. Come on, man. It's so hard to say LGBTQATT. You know the thing. Why can't we just say LGB and the rest? You know, like they sing at the end of the song for that new show, Gilligan's Island. By the way, what a bunch of good-looking young dames on that show. Especially that Mrs. Howell. Va 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 voo.
You really, that reminds me of a column, my column on Sunday. You really have to look at the Ida Lewis Yacht Club homepage. That's the all-white club, one of the Claverns that Senator Whitehouse belongs to in Newport. I swear, the picture of the membership on the front page, it looks like the Thurston Howell III impersonation contest, which I think they have annually at the beach club. And then you go to you click on the page for the list of living Commodores at the KKK Clavern, the Ida Lewis Yacht Club. And Sheldon Whitehouse, his great-grandfather or his grandfather was one. But they look, everybody, they have a picture of all the living Commodores, and they all look like the skipper. They're all wearing those caps. And they all got red noses, too. Beet red noses. The Chump Line is brought to you every weekday by Matthews Brothers, America's oldest window manufacturer. This week celebrating the start of the Tour de France, and especially the spectators, for finally, after 108 years, figuring out how to make the race viewable. The massive pileups that work for NASCAR can actually make watching the Lycra Parade enjoyable.
Which variant of Mitt do you fear the most? Rhino governor, failed candidate, backstabbing senator, or Pierre Delecto?
Oh, absolutely Pierre Delecto. After he had the meeting with Biden on Thursday, he probably went back and as Biden was stabbing him in the back 2 hours later, he was typing out how that Mitt Romney, he knows what he's doing. He cut a great deal. Signed, Pierre Delecto.
It's now the summer's first heat wave, and the climate cult will rant and rave. They'll repeat their claim that your car's to blame, even though this has been occurring since man lived in a cave.
Exactly. And it's been occurring repeatedly since we started keeping records of weather. And that's only been about 120 or 130 years, and it's happened over and over again in just that short amount of time.
Hey, Howard, do you think some of the heat in Oregon might be from burning police cars?
It really makes me sad to see what they did to that courthouse, the Mark O. Hatfield Courthouse, named after the former senator out there. I mean, that looked like it was a really nice building at one time. Now it looks like a scene from Fort Apache, the Bronx, back in the 70s. It's got all that graffiti on it. They've tried every kind of Molotov cocktail to take it out. It's just what a mess.
If Pierre Delecto says Biden is honorable, that's good enough for me. I
trust him. He's an honorable man, unlike Donald Trump. he's very honor. You know why he says Trump isn't honorable? Because he has marital problems. But Joe Biden is an honorable man. Just ask Tara Reid or Jill Biden's first husband.
Mark my word. Are the polar ice caps actually melting into the Great Lakes? I thought that was an ocean issue and that lakes were drying up from the drought.
Yeah. Well, apparently former Governor Granholm, who's now living in D.C., doesn't get the Detroit papers or doesn't read the weather reports on weather.com from her home state because she apparently didn't know anything about those droughts when she went on CNN to talk about the beaches being flooded in Michigan.
Biden went to Wisconsin. I guess John Kerry's no longer the biggest cheesehead there.
Yeah, remember that? That was one of the great lines from the 2004 campaign, among many. You're looking at the biggest cheesehead in Wisconsin. And then he went to Philadelphia, and he ordered a cheesesteak sub, but he said, I don't like that Velveeta cheese. You know, it's cheese food. Can I get me some Swiss cheese on that Philly cheesesteak? He'd ever heard of win in Rome, do as the Romans do.
Isn't Old Joe's favorite ice cream flavor the same place he's bringing us down Baraki Road?
Well, that's kind of what they were getting. I think they didn't realize what they were really saying today, the reporters. They were asking him about the infrastructure bill, but you're right. He's taking us down the rocky. How about Slippery Slope? What's in Slippery Slope ice cream? Because that's what we're on.
Forget the Delta variant. I'm worried more about the Delta Burke variant. The symptoms include weight gain and an insatiable addiction to 80s sitcoms.
Wasn't the Animal House was the Delta House, wasn't it? Why don't they just call it the Animal House variant? That would be almost as good as my name, Delta Ultra. But again, warming up in the bullpen, Gamma and Lambda.
Hi, Howie. Governor Patrick calling. Wow, I'm getting worried about Joe Biden now that Mitt Romney called him a man of honor. I remember years ago when he said you were a man of honor and then proceeded to hand over the low-digit license plate lottery. Of course, we all know what happened next. You committed the largest theft in the Commonwealth since the Gardner heist. We're going to be fine.
For our new listeners in New Mexico and elsewhere, that was all a tissue of abject lies. That license plate lottery where I got the 4-digit license plate was totally on the level. And you can trust me, I'm not like the others.
That was your last CHUMPLINE message. Thank you for calling Howie Carr, you chump.
207, avid listener, what's up with Jill Biden's first husband and Joe? This is what God made Google for, 207. You can just Google it. I'm not going to give you the tawdry details, which you should already know. Let's just say that there was a little bit of a country song at play here, according to Jill's first husband, and the song was living here, loving there, lying in between. I just thought of another one that kind of reminds me of their courtship. You pretend I'm him, and I'll pretend you're her. You know, see where I'm going with that? All right, that's it for the Chump Line today. The Chump Line is the recorded voicemail message service of the Howie Carr Show. You can leave a message at any hour between 1 and 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. 1 and 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Call, or 844-500-4242, 844-500-4242. Press 2 for the Chump Line. Leave your message. We may or may not play it at this moment each weekday. If you didn't hear your message or you just want to hear more Chump Line messages, we play a second version with extra messages that didn't make the Chump Line just now. It's called Chopped Chumps. You can get Chopped Chumps at around 7 o'clock Eastern, wherever you get your Howie Carr Show podcasts. The Chump Line is brought to you every weeknight by Matthews Brothers, America's oldest window manufacturer. This week celebrating the start of the Tour de France. and especially their spectators, for finally, after 108 years, figuring out how to make the race viewable. The massive pileups that work for NASCAR can actually make watching the Lycra parade enjoyable.
Biden went to Wisconsin. I guess John Kerry's no longer the biggest cheesehead there.
I don't even know if he's the biggest fathead there, as one of the texters put it. 844-500-4242. I'm Howie Carr.
Born in Maine, made in Massachusetts, and now a resident of the Sunshine State, Howie Carr, the original carpetbagger.